Everybody else in our listening area is dealing with rain and weather too. And if you went to that Yankees game last night, God bless you. I can't believe we even played that ball game, but we did. And we were playing some, radio in the morning and then leave for lunch. And I guess I just walked out. I didn't set up a booby trap or nothing like that. And then whoosh, started coming down from the ceiling. And it was right above one of the most vintage, beautiful, rare, one of a kind, luxurious. Did I say vintage?
Vintage.
Maya Moore, Renee Montgomery, back-to-back poster that you can't find anywhere.
It's a tape measure poster.
Autographed.
So your kid could stand next to it and know how tall your kid is compared to Maya Moore.
Are you bigger
than
Renee Montgomery or Maya Moore?
The key was when they came in here years ago, they signed it.
Yes.
And I just told Ben the other day, you know what?
We should probably get that off the wall.
Take that off the wall. I
put it in a frame or something.
Just last week.
It's Bob's. I don't know, And then boom, Mother Nature.
Mother Nature said you guys waited 2 days.
Now, it's not completely ruined. It's got some watermarks, I would say. How do we say this in the auto world, Kurt? Some patina, maybe? It's got a little patina on it right now, which is hot. Everybody wants the patina. Everybody wants that rugged style look. I think it actually went up in value, guys. I think we just made some money today with dousing it with water. It's always a bright side.
Always a bright side. Unless you're the Boston Celtics today and you missed 45-3. But that really wasn't the story. They had opportunities to win in the fourth quarter. It was a great third quarter by the New York Knicks where they threw in 30 and they came back. I think they were down 20. And they came back and tied the score, and then they continued to play well into the fourth quarter. They had the lead. Then the Celtics, Derek White made a huge three. Then the Celtics had the ball, I think, with 5 seconds left and plenty of time to score, and they fudge it. Absolutely fudge it and goes to overtime, and the Knicks end up winning the game 108-105. But we talked about this yesterday. You shoot for one win in Boston and try to get two at home at Madison Square Garden. Now, if they win against the Celtics in game 2, they could go home and possibly close this out in 4 games. And I don't know if that's possible, but if you're the Knicks and you're confident and you continue to win these close games where you're down 20 or you're down 17 in that game 6 against the Pistons, and you could continually keep coming back. And I think Thibodeau does a great job because he rests Brunson in the fourth quarter for a couple of minutes.
He's got really good timing on this
rotation.
And
then he unleashes him, and he goes in there, and that guy, and he did miss a few threes.
But he had some ones that we needed.
Jason Tatum missed a few threes, and
he missed some ones that we needed.
The Knicks made one more basket than the Celtics.
Yeah, it's you look at it and it does look like live by the 3, die by the 3, especially Jason Tatum's game. And you're right. Like if you look at this with the analytic hat on, those analytic nerds can easily argue 2 shots, even 1 shot in regulation. This is a win for the Boston Celtics. But oh well. It is what it is. You're now down 1-0, and I thought that last possession in overtime, the Boston Celtics had the ball, was atrocious, just atrocious. You could have easily drove it in for 2 in so many different ways in this game, but you got down by that magical number of 3, and I feel like that forces a lot of NBA teams' hands. Like, to hell with playing defense. We've got to tie the ball game right now. And I don't know if that philosophy is like always the best when you're just continuously chucking up bricks. I mean, these were bricks. These were long rebounds, and these became stops for the New York Knicks. So, like, even when you're up 20 and you're throwing all these bricks, you're allowing New York to get back into this game. And now that they have not only brought it to overtime but actually won the ball game last night, you just invited the whole entire city of Manhattan, because I don't think they would have shown up if they were down 2-0 and got blown out both times. They would have said, all right, Knicks, good season, just like every year. But now, not only do you got the Knicks believers, you got their crazy, finicky fan base as believers.
Now, what do the analytics have to say about the illness?
Well, I was going to get to
Porzingis,
that.
yeah.
So more than the comeback was Porzingis. He got sick early in the game, and Al Horford, old man Al Horford, had to play 34 minutes of this game. And the thing in the third and fourth quarter that New York did brilliantly to free up Brunson was to bring Anunoby out. And Al Horford would have to switch with Holiday
I'm glad you noticed
on the
that.
double switch.
Yeah,
and it happened many, many times. Now it's Al Horford and Jalen Brunson one-on-one. And Brunson's easily beaten the old man, even with the old man with the stretched out arm. So, Brunson, 5 for 9 from 3. But he got a lot of open twos from 15 feet because he was able to beat the old man in the double switch. And that's a problem. Porzingis not being available. We talked about how good he is on defense, how good he is on closing the three-point shot. Without that availability, they were 17 for 37 from 3. Celtics are 15 for 60. But I really believe in the second half that double switching and Horford, and there's no other sub for Horford. He had to play the whole final second half because Porzingis, I don't know if he had diarrhea or he's throwing up, but
I need to know.
His illness caused Horford to play 34 minutes that they were able to manipulate on the Knicks side.
I need to know more about Porzingis and this illness. I need to know. I need to know more. I know I'm not entitled to it or whatever you want to put me as a fan, a member of the media, or somebody that gambles on this stuff. I need to know. If you're not going to be at school, or let's put this as a high school kid. And I'm not saying the fans asking, I'm saying the head coach. Head coach asks the kid, can you play today? No, I have an illness. I need more. I need more than that. Right. I think illness is just such a blanket statement. And I know he was sick earlier in the season with a upper respiratory thing, and Missoula made mention of that too. And he said that's not what this is. Well, what is it? He's feeling better today. Over what? This is a guy that's notorious to not be there. It's not notorious like Luka or James Harden where the guy doesn't play defense.
Right.
It's not notorious where this guy disappears in crunch moments. It's notorious that he's just not there. And the injuries aren't visible. I can't see his knee buckle in half like we saw Tristan Casas. If you're going to tell me there's an illness and he's only playing 13 minutes and he's 0 for 4 in the game, right, I need something else. I need some more. I need flu. I need an excuse like Bellinger and some bad chicken wings. I just need something more than just illness.
Well, and a big story, too. I told you they needed Derek White. Josh Hart was great for the Knicks.
Love those
I think he had 11 rebounds. Yeah. Derek White was 5 for 16. He ended up throwing in 19. The story of the day is Tatum and Brown. They were terrible from 3. Tatum was 4 for 15. Brown was 1 for 10, so they combined 5 for 25. Your star players can't shoot that poorly and think they're going to win. That's the bottom line. But here's the thing. The Knicks got up by I think 7 or 9, and they got a couple of quick twos because they weren't guarding the paint. Reggie Miller even said it. Hey, take the easy twos instead of keep chucking threes. Then all of a sudden, Tatum comes down, he isolates, he throws up a brick. I mean, he wasn't even throwing up ones that hit the rim. They were hitting that back bar on the back of the rim and clanking out. And easy, like you said, it's one and done. Easy for the Knicks. They run it down, and they would put in either a 2 or a 3, and that's how the game changed in the fourth quarter. But coming back from 20, making a game of it for the Knicks. You have some Karl Anthony Towns on their fight. Yeah, Kurt's got some sound from the game and the after the post game.
Keep putting ourselves in these type of games, but I think we've done a great job of just fighting and giving ourselves a chance to win, and just to put ourselves in a position where we could find a way to leave here tonight with a win is all it's about. So shout out to this team, the grittiness of this team, the resilience of this team to not let go of the rope in the third quarter.
I think the Knicks kind of feel gifted this win. I think the Knicks feel like, okay, you guys are just going to keep on throwing up bricks. Man, you guys are letting us have this game. Even the fourth quarter, I think it was a shock to Bridges and Hart as things weren't going their way at all. They're like, wow, this is an actual game. If we buckle down and play some D, we can actually win this. And for it to turn out, I think there's a shock in the Knicks locker room. Wow, we were not supposed to win this game at halftime. Then we come out on top.
I just think that they have a talented team. Towns didn't need to score 25 because Josh Hart threw in 14, but Josh Hart also helped on the board.
Everywhere.
So Towns had 13 rebounds, and Josh Hart was just like Spider-Man, jumping over people and on them and grabbing rebounds with 11. He had 6 on defense, but 5 on offense to keep plays alive. And in that second half, that was key. The Celtics could not grab rebounds. And I go back to the Porzingis thing. 13 minutes from him. Hauser also hurt his knee in the second half, so he played 4 whole minutes and was a -7 while he was in the game because he couldn't defend very well. So I guess Jaylen Brown hurt his leg a month ago and has not recovered. So that's one of the reasons they keep talking about him shooting and not having any bounce in his step. But listen, then why are you throwing up 10 threes?
I was just
why are you throwing up 10 threes?
So pass the ball.
Pass the ball. Holiday looked like he was shooting pretty well. Derek White was shooting the ball really well. I mean, so why wasn't Pritchard in there to take more shots? Because they went big. Anunoby is unbelievable on the boards. That guy, he was the difference maker, and he was eating Al Horford alive.
And they were getting up and down. Like, I thought the transition game, Anunoby has like 2 or 3 dunks in transition. I did think that. Like, Hart gets blocked on one, but then goes right back at him and takes the ball to the hole. Like, it reminded me a lot of UConn versus Florida in the second round. It really did. Just as far as some of the bricks that we were seeing, and I'm yelling at McNeely, I'm yelling at Caravan, take the ball inside. You guys score anytime inside the 3. But for some reason, we just love this 3-point shot, and we just get enamored with it. Now, there was a great 3 on the West Coast, and I don't know if everybody stayed up for this one. I did not. I had to get the replay in my system this morning, but Aaron Gordon, my man, puts down the Thunder, the best team in the NBA, with 1 shot.
Yeah, I watched. 7 seconds left. Westbrook, 5 seconds. They're down by 1. Gordon got it. Aaron Gordon with a deep shot. Williams, 3-quarter court. No good. The Nuggets steal game 1. That's a winner for Aaron Gordon. 121 to 119.
I felt like the Nuggets were in this game. I watched the first half, and then you wake up and you see that they won 121-119. But Jokic, 22 rebounds to go with his 42 points. The guy's a monster, and you don't even really know he's having a monster night. We talk about Luka Doncic. Here's the difference. This guy plays defense. This guy comes down and he knows I'm big, I'm bulky, I make people change their shots. And in the second half, I just felt that was more effective than some of these other teams that you watch not play defense and let the Thunder open up a big lead on them. They always kept it close enough to win. When you're on the road, you want to keep it close and play for a tie. When you're at home, you're trying to play for the win. And again, I don't call that stealing anything. These guys were the champs a couple years ago. They're a very good basketball team when they want to be, and last night they wanted to be.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun series, man. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is dynamite.
He's
as
amazing.
Well. Like, these are 2 MVPs that are going toe-to-toe with each other. Like, they have great supporting cast, and I'm with you. I think the Nuggets, healthy, better supporting cast.
Right.
And I think you're splitting hairs with this MVP conversation, too. I think both these guys are great. Both these guys are going to step up huge for their teams. But when you just see that line of 40-plus, 20-plus.
That's insane.
I know. This guy needs to be appreciated, man. Right. This guy, if you want to watch any kind of NBA in 2020 to 2023, you better get some Jokic in your system because he's different. He does it in a fashion that, like, is logical yet illogical. It's fun to watch, and I hope this series goes 7 because I think OKC is a great young team, and they're going to be tough to knock out even though they're down 1-0.
Well, physically, I don't want to compare their games because Larry Bird was such an unbelievable shooter, but physically, Larry didn't look pretty, and so nobody thought he could play.
They don't jump.
Yeah, Jokic doesn't look pretty. He looks dumpy, but the dude can pass as well as anybody in the league. He floats in and out as far as a big guy amongst the trees. He's not really banging as much as he's kind of sidestepping and getting in there and getting buckets when he needs to. And I want to go back. There was a big bucket in the Knicks game. I forgot. Karl Anthony Towns, a tip in. End of the game tip in.
Yeah.
That again, the Celtics, if you can't keep that guy out of there on that tip in and grab that rebound, that was a game changing play. Well, that's what Jokic does throughout the whole game. For 48 minutes, he's flowing up and down. All of a sudden, you're like, damn, he's got 25. He's got 30. You got 35? You got 42? I mean, that for that guy to be a rebounding force and be a scorer and be an assist monster, I'm not that I'm not impressed. I'm impressed that we don't talk more about him and what kind of game this guy brings to the NBA. Because if he played in New York or LA, holy cow, you wouldn't talk about LeBron as much. You know, you wouldn't talk about anybody as much. You talk about this guy's game. So I just think it's awesome to watch.
Last night, I was surprised, kind of shocked that the Padres and Yankees actually played that baseball game.
If you watched early, it looked like a fog bowl. It was so foggy.
Kurt thought it was like a dream sequence in a soap opera.
Yeah, but that's dangerous. When dudes are throwing 95 and it's foggy, kind of a drizzle, then it opened up.
And a little slip on that baseball. It could go right to the melon. Oh, my goodness. Now, Devin Williams did not have the best of closes last night.
No, he did not.
Again.
But a lot of that also came from Tatis getting thrown out on a bad call, and Mike Schilt, being the professional, came out there. He argued, fired up his team that was dead in the water, and they scored 3 runs in the 8th inning. So the difference in that game, I just think, is right now, whether it's the Red Sox and Slotton or any of the other guys that are coming, these guys are already tired. Devin Williams is either up or in every game. These other relievers are up in every game. Nobody's talking about these starters can't go past the 7th inning consistently. And when they do, oh my God, it's like, making history kind of stuff. And here's the thing. We know Devin Williams has the best changeup in baseball. And guys are sitting on it and taking it the other. That is a great game plan for a hitter to go up to the plate thinking, I'm not going to go after the fastball. That is so reverse of everything you teach kids all the way up from 5 years old, all the way to the big leagues. Hey, sit fastball and then adjust to the off-speed pitch.
Right.
Everybody is now adjusting to his changeup. When it's low, you let it go. It's like a knuckleballer. You know you're not going to hit it if it's in the ground. Don't even swing at it. So I just think the patience of the Padres last night won the day.
Yeah, they got rid of Rodon in the 7th, and I don't know.
Rodon was dealing, man.
I thought so, too. I was wondering.
But we're not going to push him.
That's only 95 pitches. Like, I don't know the spin rate numbers or whatever, but it's raining. I just thought that was a place where you just keep the guy and see how much he can go, especially you had a 3-run lead at the time.
I would like to see one of these starters stand up, especially if I'm being paid $30 million.
And say, get out of here. Yeah. I'm staying in. No,
who are you to tell me I'm coming out of the game?
Yeah.
Because after the game, what I would do strategically is I'd go to the press and be like, listen, I'm being paid to win these games, not turn it over to my bullpen. And continually turning it over to, and it's the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Tanner
right now.
Houck, bro.
Right,
this
dude.
is the guy that should be doing it.
I can't keep wasting 100 pitches every 5th day, busting my ass for this guy to come in. And listen, I got the brunt of that when I blew saves and blew saves in the 7th inning, and rightfully so. That's what should happen. But these guys don't do that anymore. They don't shame each other. I'd be shaming the crap out of Aaron Boone. You're taking me out for what? That bullpen?
Yeah.
No way. So then you go to the press and you make the shame go back on Aaron Boone and Cashman and say, listen, did you bring me here to win games, or did you bring me here to waste 21 outs to turn it over to these other guys who can't get 6 outs?
One guy that I did not realize is on the Padres is Robert Suarez. Forgot about that guy.
No, you forget about Xander Bogaerts too.
Oh yeah, that guy.
They got quite the all-star lineup.
They do. Every time I see them, I'm like, why? We rag on the Dodgers, but man, this Padres lineup, they kind of got everything they need. And the Dodgers at least win World Series. Padres.
I understand why you let Benintendi go, but I would have never let Bogaerts and Betts go. I would have never let those two go. Those guys should be franchise guys for 15, 20 years, and the Red Sox fans would be happy. Even if they weren't winning championships, you'd still see 2 of the greatest players in the league on your team.
I don't think their production has gone anywhere.
Bogart's gone down a little bit, but he's still a great shortstop. I mean, it's and you ended up paying what's his face Story, what, 151, 141? I don't know what it was, and then you paid Devers. You could. Well, my point is you could have had Bogaerts and Betts for maybe $200 million more. Mm-hmm. Then you throw in Bregman now. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about the lineup that could have been, and that's why these GMs keep getting rotated around up in Boston, because the owners tinker too much. And they were like, we're not paying that extra $50 million for Mookie. Yeah, well, now how do you feel about that? He's got 2 championships since you kicked him to the curb.
We do hopefully have some afternoon baseball today. The Guardians are taking on the Nationals. They did get postponed yesterday, so this is the first of 2 in a doubleheader. We shall see. The Yankees will start their pregame at 6:25 like they did last night. It's pretty much the same situation, man. Everybody's thinking we're going to play this game hell or high water. Hell or high water. How did we come up with that? It had to have been a baseball thing. I think baseball started hell or high water. Hell or high water. Padres, Yanks are playing game 2.
Probably the same guy that came up with when it freezes in hell.
Could be.
When hell freezes over.
Freezes over.
What?
Now, the Red Sox, they will have a game today. They'll be taking on the Texas Rangers in Fenway. Another knock on wood. I haven't checked my Roto Grinders fantasy baseball weather reports. That's usually the best place to get it, man. Gamblers. Actually, baseball coaches.
Gamblers Anonymous?
Yeah, they have great weather reports. Probably better
Gamblers
than
Weekly.
Our main man, Joe Fury. Like, honestly, no disrespect to Ashley Baylor, Joe Fury, our Channel 8 super team. But when it comes to weather, no one knows it better than a college baseball coach. The college baseball coach, like Jim Penders, should do a segment for Channel 8 for weather.
Well, I think groundskeepers, they know
Golf
weather is
groundskeepers.
And here's another thing, airports do too. I know Cincinnati, we always, because Cincinnati weather, you lived in Indiana, grew up there,
tornadoes.
A lot of tornadoes, a lot of thunderstorms, and so when it was coming through Kentucky, and that's, if you don't know where the Cincinnati airport is, it's actually in Kentucky on the other side of the river, but they still call it, CGB or whatever. They'd get the weather, they would tell us, and then they'd pull the tarps before the rain even hit, because they knew 15 minutes from now, the heavens are going to open up on you. So, you should ask the airports what the weather's going to be like, especially in New York.
So the gamblers say it's orange to start and yellow to get into the game. That's for Texas at Boston. Here's the actual report. Kind of messy. It will almost definitely rain. But for now, I think they figure out some way to play. They may require playing through some rain. It may require delaying for rain. That's Red Sox, Texas. Now, here's the Padres-Yankees report, which is yellow to start and all green at the end, baby. Models have rain holding roughly 10 miles west. If it still looks that way pregame, they'll remove the rain risk. But for now, they're keeping a chance of a delay. Case of models are a bit off. Likely outcome is the game happens with no worries. So there you go, Yankees fans.
All right, our baseball guy, Kevin Kernan, who's covered the game over 40 years and a lot of other games. He had some comments on the Celtics game, too. He covered the Chicago Bulls and their run for years, so he knows all the sports. So we can even throw in a couple of those questions, too, because he was annoyed by all the missed threes by the Celtics. But let's talk baseball with Kevin Kernan next on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive, Kurt Kaplan on the ones and twos, and Nick Federico is here today on our YouTube channel. We'll be right back.